You just got an email. The words are perfectly polite. Thanks for your input. We'll take it under consideration. But something about it feels cold, dismissive, off. You felt that immediately, without thinking, without even finishing the sentence. Now here's the question. Can a machine do the same thing? Can AI read a sentence and know, not just what it says, but how it feels? It can. And it's doing it right now at a scale that's genuinely hard to wrap your head around. Here's the thing about language. The words themselves are only part of the story. This is fine can mean everything is great, or it can mean everything is very much not fine. I can't believe you did that. Could be shock, could be admiration, could be fury, tone, context, history. Humans use all of it unconsciously to decode what's really being said. For a computer, that's an enormous problem, because a computer doesn't feel tone. It reads text, and text, stripped of everything else, is just symbols on a page. So how do you teach a machine to feel the room? In the next few minutes, we're going to look at exactly how AI reads emotion, what it's actually doing under the hood, where it's already showing up in your daily life, and where it still gets things badly wrong. The field is called sentiment analysis, and the core idea is surprisingly simple. Start with a massive data set of text where humans have already labeled the emotion. 1 million product reviews, each one tagged positive, negative, or neutral. Customer support tickets marked as frustrated, satisfied, confused. Social media posts flagged with the emoji people used alongside them. You feed all of that to a machine learning model, the same kind we talked about back in episode 4, when we covered how AI learns from data, and the model starts to notice patterns. Amazing, love, incredible, positive, terrible, broken, waste of money, negative. Okay, arrived on time, as described, neutral. At first, it's basically a very sophisticated word matching system, a feelings dictionary at scale. But modern sentiment analysis goes a lot deeper than that. Here's where it gets interesting and tricky. This movie was so bad, it was good. A basic system sees bad, flags it negative. Done. Wrong. Modern AI systems use the same transformer architecture that powers ChatGPT, which we unpacked in episode 3. Transformers don't just look at words in isolation. They look at the relationship between words, the whole sentence at once, and crucially, the words around each word. So when the model reads, "So bad, it was good," it has learned from millions of similar examples that this particular pattern signals something positive, or at least intentionally ironic. It's doing something closer to reading in context, rather than scanning for keywords. This also helps with negation. Not bad is not the same as bad. Sounds obvious to you. For early AI systems, it genuinely wasn't. Modern transformers handle it well, most of the time. Sentiment analysis is already woven into things you use every day. You just don't see it running. Every time a company checks how their brand is doing on social media, that's sentiment analysis processing thousands of posts per hour. Every time a customer support chatbot decides you sound frustrated and escalates your ticket to a human, that's sentiment analysis making the call. Every product rating system that surfaces the most helpful reviews, often weighted by how clearly positive or negative the language is. If you've ever used a voice assistant and noticed it softens its tone when you sound stressed, that's emotion detection working on your speech patterns, not just your words. It's running quietly in the background of a lot of modern software. Most people never know it's there. But here's the honest part. Sarcasm is still a genuine weak spot. Regional slang throws models off. So does mixed sentiment, a review that says, "The food was incredible, but the service ruined the whole evening," is both strongly positive and strongly negative in the same sentence. Basic models call it neutral. That's not neutral. That's a complex human experience squeezed into 1 star. Cultural context is another hard problem. Wicked means bad in most of the world, and good in parts of England. Sick can mean ill, or it can mean impressive, depending on who's talking and where. Models trained mostly on one kind of text often misread the other. And emotions aren't binary. Real feelings are layered. You can be relieved and disappointed at the same time, excited and anxious. Most current systems flatten that complexity into positive, negative, neutral, which is a bit like describing color using only red, blue, and green. Getting better. Not there yet. So what does this mean for you? It means that when you write a review, send a support message, or post about a brand online, there's a very good chance a machine is reading the emotional temperature of your words before a human ever does, and making decisions based on it. That's worth knowing. Not to be paranoid about it, but because it changes how you communicate when you want to be heard. A calm, specific, clearly negative review is processed and acted on very differently than a vague, all-caps rant. The machine reads both. It weighs them differently. It also means we're in early days of something genuinely interesting. AI that doesn't just understand what you say, but starts to understand what you mean. And eventually, maybe, how you feel when you say it. We're not there yet, but we're closer than most people think. Next time, we're going to look at something you use every day without realizing how strange it actually is. Memory. How does AA remember things? Why does it sometimes forget what you said 3 messages ago? And what's actually happening when it seems to know you? Subscribe so you don't miss it, and we'll see you in the next one.